friends, when Jesus called fishermen, they were true workers in fishing industry. And it's not always fully appreciated. I can give you a little bit of history. After Herod the Great died in year 4 before the Common Era, Romans divided his kingdom between his sons. Herod Antipas inherited Galilee and Perea, and he was ambitious and industrious man. Given this undeveloped backward province, he wanted to intensify his economy there and his own revenue. And so part of what he did was to develop fishing industry in Lake of Galilee. And so he built and improved towns and harbors by the lake shore, for instance, Tiberias, and granted fishing concessions and made it attractive by granting tax holidays. Soon there was a booming fishing industry, mostly producing salted fish and garum or gyros, fish sauce. And after this business took off and economy was humming, Antipas, of course, wanted to see his revenue, and so he imposed fees and licenses and tolls and taxes. Fishing licenses, processing licenses, port, road, and market access fees, and of course everyone got taxed. As fishermen needed to pay all these extra payments, they were working harder and harder, which led to, of course, overfishing and diminishing returns and economic stress. Now, to this situation comes Jesus. He was a preacher and healer with a message of the kingdom of God, with an incendiary message of this new order built on divine abundance found in mutual sharing, plentiful divine grace, and also stigma-lifting healings. All of us based on concept of peace and justice coming from God. He was reconnecting impoverished, dispossessed, and alienated people, offering them acceptance, restoring their self-esteem and their integrity, and bringing them hope. These impoverished fishermen heard the message Jesus was bringing, and they offered him their boats and their skills to keep him safe. Look at the map of the Galilean lake. It was surrounded with 3 regions, governed by 3 different authorities. Galilee was under Herod Antipas, Gaulanitis by Herod Philip. Decapolis was a commonwealth of 10 Hellenistic cities. In Gospels, we hear many times about Jesus crossing the lake, teaching from the fishing boats, going by boat to a place where he can be alone, hardly ever visiting harbors, often embarking and disembarking in deserted places. So in Gospel of Mark, after calling fishermen, there are at least these episodes about Jesus crossing that lake. I counted 8 at least. And in Gospel of Mark, Jesus being in a boat is mentioned 17 times. So Jesus preached the radical message of the kingdom of God, and fishermen took him into their boats. And they kept him safe from anyone who might try to catch him on the land. They were going from Galilee to Gaulanitis, to Decapolis, and back to Galilee or Gaulanitis, simply crisscrossing this lake and more or less an equivalent to international borders. It is not surprising that Jesus was never caught in Galilee. His fishermen friends provided him with protection, helping him to escape across the lake, often crisscrossing the lake by night. And I find this as a very likely scenario because it is never really directly mentioned in any gospel. It needs to be put together like a puzzle from individual pieces. They nevertheless fit together well. Diverse individual biblical stories, ancient history, our understanding of ancient economy, political geography, all of that clicks neatly together. So Jesus' calling of fishermen and their help and protection is a practical example of his collaborative message, what John Dominic Crossan calls collaborative eschaton. And that is something you might not know about the Bible.